Welcome back, Lexurious Fleet. The 4th generation Acura MDX has finally been unveiled. And today we're going to go over all the information we have on this premium 3-row crossover. And at the end I'll give you my thoughts on Acura's new flagship and whether this vehicle is worthy of the precision crafted performance moniker. And guys, before we get too far into this announcement, keep in mind that this is still a prototype. But if you ask me, I would say about 99% of everything you see today is going to be in the production version. Over at the Acura Newsroom, new flagship MDX prototype previews the most premium and performance-focused SUV in Acura's history. So let's read over the highlights here. Radical design transformation with a low wide stance, long hooded, sleek pulled back cabin, evoking a more dynamic character. New interior takes a quantum leap forward in craftsmanship materials technology, including Acura Precision Cockpit and all digital instrumentation. 4th generation MDX debuts all new SUV platform with MDX's first ever double wishbone front suspension engineered for Type S levels of performance, heck yeah. And new MDX to arrive at dealers early next year, and the MDX Type S will follow in the summer of 2021. All right, that's it guys. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. And what do you think of the, no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. We have a lot more to discuss here about the new MDX. And we could read this huge article here, line by line, word by word, but I've read it several times. So I'm just gonna pick out the most important things out of this announcement. Starting with the exterior, then we'll go with the interior, and then lastly, the powertrains, which we're all excited for all of these, right? Especially powertrains, I mean, come on. All right, so this is based on a brand new light truck platform to be likely shared with future Honda products like the Odyssey, Ridgeline, and the Pilot. They showed this vehicle in 2 matte colors, liquid carbon and performance red. Now, we have no idea if they're going to be offering matte colors. If they do offer matte colors, which I think a lot of us would be excited for as long as they're easy to clean and maintain, if they can offer matte colors in Type S, it would be pretty badass. Since the new MDX is lower and wider, it has a 6-inch increase in dash to axle dimension, making for a longer and also more attractive, sleeker hood. Also, the wheelbase grows about 3 inches more from about 111 inches to 114 inches. The front and rear styling comes as no surprise with a diamond pentagon grille, jewel-eye LED headlights, and chicane daytime running lights and tail lights. You can even see tiny little fog lights tucked away at the bottom. Now we also have 21-inch wheels on this prototype, and I hope they remain an option going forward. I mean, the 21s will look really, really good with this larger, longer, wider MDX. And behind those massive wheels are almost as massive 4 piston Brembo calipers. Now moving to the interior, now it's a huge upgrade. I've never seen an interior on an Acura like this before, dating back to the late 80s. Like, this is top notch. The leather and the stitching everywhere is really, really nice, from the seats to the steering wheel. The wider body gets you improvements in legroom in all 3 rows and more headroom in the 1st and 3rd rows. You get an ultra wide panel roof that I hope is standard. You know, they haven't talked about a lot of details with packaging and things like that, but since the panel roof is standard in the RDX, I hope it's standard here on the MDX. That would, yeah, that's just massive if they can do that. 2nd row to have heated outboard seats in some configurations. It doesn't look like we'll have ventilated rear outboard seats. So sorry to break your bubble, you might have to spend a little bit more, 80, 90 grand in an Audi or a Lexus or something to get ventilated outboard seats. We get Acura's first ever digital gauge cluster called Precision Cockpit, which is a 12.3-inch screen, just like the center screen. So that center screen is an upgrade from about a 10-inch screen from the RDX and the TLX, and they made this is the biggest screen ever for their center stack, but also they share the same size for the Precision Cockpit. And I hope you guys love ambient lighting, because this is taking it to the next level here. You'll have 27 different lighting schemes, but the best part about the ambient lighting is the integration with the ELS signature audio, which surrounds the speakers with LED lights. The ELS signature audio will give you 1000 watts, 22 channels, 25 speakers, and some of those speakers are even made of carbon fiber. Okay guys, lastly onto the powertrains. You can breathe a sigh of relief if you were scared of the Turbo 4 making it into the MDX. Rest assured, the base power plant is going to be the 3.5 liter that we see in the current MDX with 290 horsepower. So V6s in the MDX only. Now, of course, the Type S is going to have the 3-liter turbo V6 that is going to debut in the TLX Type S this spring. And this is good for 355 horsepower and 354 pound-feet of torque. All of the engine options are going to be mated to the 10-speed auto that we see in the TLX and RDX. And of course, it's going to have super handling all-wheel drive as an option. Shouty! Hey, shouty. So the 4th generation MDX will be built in East Liberty, Ohio, while both V6s will be produced in Anna, Ohio, and the 10-speed auto is built in Tallapoosa, Georgia. Okay, so what do I think of the new MDX? Well, we don't have pricing, we don't have packaging, we don't have exact availability, but we have enough here. I can give you a pretty good synopsis and my feelings. Well, it looks really good. There's no denying that. I love the double wishbone front suspension. It's going to handle like a champ. I'm actually surprised by the V6 in place of the turbo 4-cylinder. I'm not mad about it by any means. I'm kind of neutral on it. Don't have as much torque in the V6. You have more top-end power. But I think a lot of buyers will, in this class, are very biased, maybe biased towards V6s in such a large vehicle. Of course, I'm so excited for the turbo V6. Can't wait to try that out for you guys. And then the Brembo brakes was kind of a surprise for me. No mention of hybrid options, and Acura has had their lips zipped. Now we currently have a hybrid, I believe, on the 3rd generation MDX. I've never seen one in person, I don't believe. I've never driven one. No word on any hybrids going forward in their lineup. Now, they're going to have to eventually. Now, they're working with GM, at least Honda's working with the GM, hashtag Gondam, to produce some EVs. So it's possible that one of those 2 EVs that GM is making for Honda could be an Acura product. Cadillac is going to be fully electrified by 2030. Maybe they rebadge those as Acuras. Like I said, I don't know, but they have to have some sort of electrification going forward, whether it's a hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or electric vehicle. Now, what about the MDX's direct competition? Well, we know the Lexus RX that's the OG, guys. That's the original luxury crossover. It's not as big as the MDX. It has 2 rows. I'm not going to talk about the 3rd row RX 350 or 450L because that car is just not viable for really anyone. It's just not a good option. You're better off with lots of other different vehicles instead of a 3-row RX. It's a bad package. But the 2-row RX is a winning formula. They figured it out. It's about as good as a 2-row luxury SUV that you can get. This is going to put some heat on it because the RX is not aging well. Came out in 2016. We're kind of coming to the end of its product line ideally. But we know that the RX was refreshed for 2020, which is a year later than the 2019, which it should have been refreshed. So that could be pushing the refresh rate, or I should say the redesign rate of the RX to like 2023, 2024. I have no idea. So Lexus is going to be pretty far behind here with a new product to compete with it. Doesn't mean that they're going to be behind in sales, but behind in technology and just a fresh product. Infiniti QX60 is going to be getting redesigned. They say it could be happening as early as next summer, but the problem is when that comes out, the MDX Type S will be coming out around the same time. That could steal some of its thunder. But the QX60 I should say, monograph is a very good looking SUV. Hopefully they can keep it really close to that prototype that they showed off this past month. If the QX60 can provide the Red Sports twin turbo V6 with 400 horsepower, that's going to put some pressure and make Acura feel a little uncomfortable, because that's one of its direct competitors as being a strong 3-row crossover. I have to mention Genesis here with the GV80. Amazing vehicle, at least from the looks. It looks really good. The power plant is going to have 370 so horsepower and 390 so pound-feet of torque, which is a little bit more than this Type S. They're all going to be roughly in the same ballpark in terms of engine performance, but I would put Acura product as a better handling than everything else in the segment. An Audi 3-row crossover, the Q7, we know that can be outfitted with some upgraded suspension and engine pieces as well, but that's a lot more pricey of a vehicle once you get into the SQ7. So, and guys, until I get pricing, packaging, etc., I can't really give you my final verdict on it, but it looks like it's going to be an excellent option for 3-row luxury crossover buyers. And gosh, to have an exciting engine like we're going to have the Turbo V6. Interior looks amazing. The styling overall is really good. For a 3-row crossover, they're not the best looking vehicles usually by any means, but it's going to be definitely a step up from the current MDX. And I can't wait to see your guys' thoughts down below about it. If you made it this far into the video, haven't smashed the like button yet, go ahead and do that, and subscribe if you're not, because I have lots of stuff coming down the hatch. I cover Japanese and Korean auto news, and also I review cars as well. Currently I have a Hyundai Sonata in the driveway. But anyways guys, I'll see you in the comments. Thank you so much for watching. 2021 MDX is upon us, and it looks like a really good step in the right direction for Acura and for the MDX. Thank you guys, I'll see you in the next video. Take care of yourselves, peace out.